Hey you guys, watch as I make a pot roast for the very first time. Before y'all go crazy in the comments, I know I shouldn't have bought seasoned meat. I didn't know that before, but the girls told me in the last video, so next time I won't. But honestly, I didn't want the seasoning on here anyway, so I scraped it all off and I did my own seasoning. And I just used regular seasonings that you use on meat. And I added some oil, rubbed that in because these pot roasts are really big and I wanted them to be flavorful, so I made sure I rubbed that in really well. I went ahead to add some olive oil to my cast iron skillet, and I put the pot roast in there and I'm trying to sear it on both sides for about 6 to 7 minutes. While that cooked, I went ahead and washed my vegetables of choice, which were carrots and red potatoes, because this is my first time and I didn't want to do too much. So I went ahead and flipped the roast on the other side, making sure each side is brown. As you can see, they're cooking really well, so I'm going to leave that in there for a few more moments. Now it's time to transfer it to the aluminum pan that I'm going to bake it in, and while I sit that there, I'm going to go ahead and prep my vegetables. I sliced my red potatoes up and then I went back and actually made them a little smaller because I didn't have much. Now I'm going to add my red potatoes and the carrots to the pan, as well as this extra piece of meat that came in the pack. This is my first time. I wanted to make as much meat as possible so we can at least eat this for 2 days. I'm adding some minced garlic for flavor and as well as some more seasonings for my vegetables. I'm going to pour half a carton of beef broth because that's going to be what I bake it in. And then I'm going to add 1 pack of beef stew gravy and brown gravy to make my broth more flavorful. I add the rest of the broth from the carton and then I wrap it up to put it in the oven. I let this cook on 400 to 425 degrees for about 3 hours. Some people said 2 hours, but my roast was so big it was not tender after 2 hours. As you can see, my gravy was still watery because I used the broth and I didn't like that, so I called my aunt on FaceTime and she helped me make this gravy thicker using the broth from the pan. We added some flour and a little bit of seasonings and then I poured that back onto my roast, covered it up and put it back in the oven for about 30 more minutes. As you can see, my roast came out perfect. It was so tender, so juicy. It was like falling apart. It was honestly the best thing I've ever made. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my plate. I made some white rice, some broccoli, and I'm just adding my roast with some gravy on top of my rice. And here's my plate. It was literally a 10 out of 10. My boyfriend loved it and I can't wait for the twins to come home to try it.